I got my water somewhere.
Well, I just filled this up from your sink.
Ew, that sink water?
Is there better water upstairs?
We have refined osmosis water. Do you want a cup? Do you want a glass? Do you want a full water bottle like this?
I mean, sure.
All right.
This is a great intro, though. This is Hello and welcome back to season 2 of Chillin with Matt and Dylan. We've taken a year off, I think. I checked the YouTube channel. First of all, I'm Matt, and my host here is Dylan.
Hello.
How you doing, Dylan?
I'm doing good.
Very good. So the last podcast we did was, I checked, September 2020. So about a year and 4 months ago.
Oh, get out.
Yeah.
That long.
I thought we went into 2021, but we did not.
Get out of here. Are you sure?
I'm positive. You know what?
You're wrong.
I'll go on the YouTube channel right now. I'll go to your name now. I think on YouTube is Ghost Boy.
I switched it back to Chilling with Matt and Dylan when someone told me we were doing this.
I'm typing right now for listeners. I'm typing, looking back, Chilling with Matt and Dylan, and I see. Oh shit! There's a YouTube channel just called Chillin with Dylan. Did you start your own podcast when we stopped?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what that's.
Now I can't though. I wanted to. No, I'll never be able to.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Talked about. Oh yeah. Here's the intro. That's not bad.
It's a great intro.
That's fun. Okay. Anywho, that was September 3rd, 2020.
September 3rd, 2020 was the last one. Because I know we talked about Hunt Showdown. And I thought that came out last year. That was 2021.
I don't think so.
I mean, time flies. So
genuinely,
I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong.
Yeah.
It's 2 years ago.
It's 2 years. Well, it's not. It's almost 2 years ago.
Almost 2 years.
Almost
2 years.
1 year and that's what I'm saying, man. 2020 flew by, and then I thought 2021. I thought was gonna be different.
It flew by faster.
It was my least favorite of the year, I think.
Of the
at
year?
least of the years of the
all
pandemic.
The years? Oh, okay.
At least 2020 had like from January to March, where it was like, hey, we're good.
Yeah, but 2021 wasn't that bad. Like we went in lockdown in 2020.
Yeah,
where you couldn't even go outside.
But at the beginning of lockdown is like, it's like a snow day for some of us. You work from home. So, but for all of us, that's like me. Yeah. That's like Ben. All of a sudden, that's like Mike. That's Ray. Everybody, and then the most people I've ever seen on Xbox is in like the lockdown.
I know, it was the best thing for me.
Yeah,
who's someone who regularly plays Xbox. Yeah. Now all my friends are playing, and it's great.
Yeah,
and now all my friends work from home. A lot of them: Phil, Corey, Branislav, Mike, myself, and not you yet.
Not me. I don't think I ever will.
Have you ever wanted to?
Yes. Some instances, yes. I think, of course, I was a little skewed, though, because I worked from home, but I remoted into my desktop at work because I don't have a laptop because a laptop doesn't run SolidWorks, the program that I use, very well. So I remote in. So I'm going through the internet to then go to my computer at work.
Okay.
So it's not as instant as thinking like if you're typing or something like that, there's more of a lag.
Why don't they
let me take my desktop home or give me a laptop?
Desktop home.
Because it's a big desktop. I don't want to carry my desktop home with me.
If you work from full time from home.
Correct. Then I probably could. At one point, Rec had a COVID scare, and I had to basically take my desktop home with me.
Did it?
Yes, I did it.
So you've done it. So there's a precedent. Okay.
So,
but would you accept the job, though, where you can work from home? And you can move back to Indiana here?
I think I would, but I don't think I'd move back to Indiana.
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper, yeah, but there's not as much to do.
There's plenty to do.
I know.
You can always drive to Chicago. That's the thing if you want to do something.
That's true. And the fact is, like, you invited me over here last night, and it was like, oh, I got to drive, and I wasn't planning on driving and packing all that. If I'd lived in the area, that'd be a much more, absolutely. Let me just.
That's true. We could be filming. We can record these things.
I know.
Boom.
If we get a sponsor, I'll move down here.
Okay, that's our next goal. Write that down.
So yeah, it's been.
We're recording. Wait, we're recording in person, by the way. For those of you who aren't audio or just visiting. Just listening in here, we're in my basement right now recording this podcast.
It did not take us 45 minutes to set it up.
Is this the first time we've recorded in person? How about that? Have we ever done this before?
I think the first one we recorded in person. Because
Where?
I remember because
at your house?
No, I think it was down here at your tall like bar table. Because I remember because you commented after we did it where I was swiveling too much on my chair, which was causing a squeak. And
I like how you remember that.
I was tapping
you were tapping a lot
on the table. I remember your critiques very well.
And I don't think that went aired ever, right? That was like our first. That was like a practice one. I think
that might have been. You're right.
That's probably
that might have been. And then I was like, okay, I need to chime it down with my hands.
We had some wild setups back in the day. That's fun. I don't even remember that. Wow. But yeah, we're in person. And it's fun. I think it gives it a little bit more of a.
It's easier. It's easier to talk to you.
It's easier to talk because I get to see his facial expressions and be like, "Oh, he's mad at me. But back off."
We don't interrupt each other either as much.
Right.
As much.
Right.
But yeah, 1 year, 4 months. I'm trying to think of. I can't remember what I was going to say after that.
A lot of our listeners probably, I don't even know if they're still alive anymore. We have a year and a half.
That's true.
Like our whole audience probably moved on. They probably don't even remember us.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm hoping season 2 really kicks it into gear.
I know, right? This has got to be better.
Up the production value.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah, we really got to top it. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. But last time you and me hung out in person together. April? I mean, we hung out. That was like just you and me hanging out.
Yeah,
before that
Village.
we had a diaper party.
Yeah,
which was August of last year.
But we hung out at Mike's basement or something. You showed up like.
Yeah, that was at the baptism.
The baptismal party, yeah.
So Mike's had a baby since the last podcast.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is very crazy.
But the last podcast, I don't think Emily was pregnant.
That's
the last podcast.
She was not.
Now she has a baby. They have a child.
So yeah, good for them. Good for them.
Yeah, man, they're really moving along.
They are. Okay, so
hopefully she won't have another kid by the next podcast.
Depends if we take another year hiatus.
Yeah, we'll see. It's possible. It's very possible.
Okay, so let's see. Looking, I have some notes here. Discuss our hiatus. Check mark, baby.
Engaging stuff.
Let's see. I have current updates, and I said anything you want to say about last year. Anything fun that happened last year? I have 3 things that happened.
All right, you start,
and I'll let you. One of them's clearly better than the other, but I'll let you decide. You rate them. Number 1, I went on a week-long bike trip across Tennessee.
Right. Okay.
Number 2, I got a robot vacuum.
That's a highlight?
That's a pretty highlight.
A Zumba?
A Roomba
or whatever?
Yeah, it was a Robo-Rack. But yes, that's an absolute highlight.
Okay.
And then number 3,
bizarre.
My sister had a baby.
Which, you have one sister, right?
I have one sister, yeah.
She had a baby? Did I know about this?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think so.
She's posted on Facebook. Do you follow her on Facebook?
No.
Wow. That's hurtful.
Sorry. I guess
you
I
were in
should.
a grade.
I follow you on Facebook. You don't post shit.
I don't. I think I deactivated my Facebook account.
Oh, really?
After I sold something on Facebook Marketplace.
So what social media platforms are you on? IG?
I am on IG to follow people that I like, and then I'm on Twitter occasionally just to follow some news and some other stuff like that.
I like Twitter.
I haven't posted on Twitter since I think the last time I was at Harry's at Purdue.
Jeez,
so I think 2015.
Yeah.
And then on Instagram, I don't think I posted since early 2020 when I was posting pictures of my Germany trip.
So why don't you think you post more? You think you only post like vacation stuff?
I'm self-conscious about it.
Right.
I have, especially with all the likes and stuff, it's like I got a tweet and it's like, oh man, is this going to get any likes on it?
I know, right?
I want it to be funny.
And what if it doesn't get any likes?
Then you feel
You're
horrible.
Devastated. You're like, God, now everyone.
Then you delete it. You just delete it. You're like, nobody saw it or cares about it because they didn't like it.
Yeah, so nobody will miss it, right? And
so that's why. And then on Instagram, I started thinking about. A lot of people do Instagram stuff for just like their updates in life, take pictures of themselves, take pictures of this like this. And I was thinking of more leveraging it towards like my career of design, industrial design, 3D art. But then I was like, none of my work's good enough yet. Of course, I'm following professional artists, so me comparing myself to them is not great. But
really,
yeah.
Okay, well, you got to start somewhere.
I know.
You'll look back 10 years from now and say, "Oh wow, look at all this trash."
Yeah. No, that's exactly.
Or
it.
you'll be like, "Wow, this is actually better than I thought. I remembered it." being not good, but this is actually pretty decent.
That's occasional. Occasionally I'll look back at stuff and be like, this is a good idea. It looks horrible, but it's a good idea. Maybe there's something there for
You think you'll be, somewhere like really good in 10 years, like at your job, where it's like you could post stuff and people follow you?
Oh, yeah. I think I could post stuff now and I'd be a lot happier with it than as opposed to in 2020 when I stopped. Because I was quarantined for 2 years, so I got a lot of practice and work done.
That's great.
But yeah, so maybe. I don't know. I'm still not a huge social media person. The fact that people have to, especially Snapchat, that I occasionally love the update or something like that, but that people have to like share. Especially it was all big at concerts. Like they Snapchat the concert playing.
I love it
to all their friends.
I know, but nobody watches it.
Nobody hates.
I'm like, oh, they're at a concert, and I just fast forward.
Yeah, all I get out of it is okay, they're at a concert.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I get out of it. It was good. Good for them. They're at a concert. They're having fun, but I never watch it. I'm never like, oh yeah, it feels like I'm there.
I know. I agree. I'm guilty of recording concerts.
And I mean, I just don't do it.
I think about social media is like, you kind of just want people to think you're doing cool stuff.
Yeah, you want to see the highlights.
Like, hey, look at me. Look, I'm having fun right now.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
That's exactly it.
Look at me.
It's to let people know, like, hey, I'm living a fun life right now.
Right.
Like that.
And that's why I don't like it, Like, it bothers me, especially on Instagram. Like, all you do is, like you just see people posting, like, themselves. Look at me. And it's like, I don't want to have that. Like, you're posting an image of yourself, but you're also showing yourself, like, hey, I want attention. You know what I mean? So you're giving two versions of yourself when you post a cool picture.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I don't know, like, at the same time, though, if you have that kind of self-confidence, like, go for it. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. And people make money off that, too. They get, all the influencers. Yeah,
I mean, like, if I was more attractive, then boom, I'd be posting pictures all the time. But
like, that's very true.
And I can't. Yeah, I don't know, but I do like Snapchat a lot. I can't see myself.
Snapchat's fun. I use it more for, like, I will never use a story.
Yeah.
I'll Snapchat people. I'll Snapchat you. I'll Snapchat my close friends on something that I think they'd like or that would interest them.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's as much as I use it. I've never put it on my story because I have a lot of friends too on there that I wouldn't even call them. Acquaintances that I haven't talked to in a while too that I probably should delete.
Okay.
But then they'd see it, but then I don't know. I think I did my story once last year. I made a little Christmas tune and put that on my story.
Okay, I think I remember that.
Yeah, that was as far as it ever went.
I like the story though. I think it's because I have a lot of friends on Snapchat that I don't get to talk to a lot, and I feel like it's a good way to have them update and see. And I look at my views, like everyone watches them.
Yeah,
I have people that I haven't talked to in years. I used to be a server and like work with them, and they actually watch them. So it's like people are watching them, and I try not to make them. I try to make them PG and stuff,
Yeah, that's good.
I used to do just shots. Every time I was doing a shot, I used to take a Snapchat,
Yeah, get off work, take a shot, Snapchat of it.
Well, we used to have parties all the time. Like every Friday, we'd be doing shots.
Yes, we did.
And
not anymore.
Now I don't do that. I don't know what the Snapchat. I have some funny jokes about me working.
You do. You okay? I do enjoy your Snapchats of your work, of the emails of like the random people that come in.
They're funny, and like I got like a whole so Michael like sending me. I shouldn't say his last name. Just Michael.
I know.
B.
That's what I'll beep it out. I'll beep it out.
Beep. Him and like Branislav and Corey. Now they do the same thing. They're always just Snapchatting me their work stuff that's really funny. Something stupid happens, and they just snap it at me directly. I think it's great. Like, I think everyone's having a fun time with it now, especially since quarantine. We're all having a great time, like making Snapchats at work.
Oh yeah, it's like working with your friends at that point, then too.
Yeah.
Do they do similar stuff to what you do? I know Corey works.
Corey works with me.
Yeah, that's why I remember you said you got him a job there.
Yeah, which is crazy, and hopefully, I think he likes it. I'm super happy for him. I hope he likes it. I don't know what everyone else does. It's all different.
I gotta ask him if you're listening.
Right in.
Matt
and Dylan at podcast@gmail.com.
That's it. Yeah. Let us know what you do, even though we probably should know.
Yeah.
So but yeah. So my sister had a baby. I'm an uncle now.
That's awesome.
You're also an uncle, right? Your brother has.
I'm a double uncle. Yeah. Okay. My brother has a kid, and my sister has a kid, and my brother's having another kid.
Oh man. What are they? Are they nieces, nephews?
So Logan is my sister's child. He's a boy.
That's for sure a nephew.
Yeah. He's a nephew. And then my nieces, well, our future niece, they both have, my brother has two girls. Well, we'll have another girl. There's a bun in the oven right now.
There you go.
It's a girl.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and they're moving back here. Did I tell you that?
You did not tell me that.
Yeah.
I think you might have, but continue.
Yeah. So they want to buy a house. They're looking for, and obviously the market's crazy right now.
Rough out there.
Listings are down like a third of what they were like just a year ago or 2 years ago. A third of listings, and places are more expensive than ever. So don't buy a house right now. Interest rates are going up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I read that coming in, but that's cool. Where are they looking to move back to this area?
They're hoping to move back really close.
Okay.
So
just because they just wanted to get close to family? Is there a job change there?
well, I think my brother can work from home, but they
Okay.
also want to be closer to family because we're
Absolutely.
very close. And now, like, he has 2 kids, and like, you know, you want to have your
Yeah.
kids, you grow up with your family.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Kind
why
of.
I mean, because my sister also moved from Kansas City out to Indy now, which it's not
closer.
a 6-hour drive, but it's not 1 hour, 2-hour drive, but that still benefits for my parents, and I'm sure that changed their retirement plans as to where they want to live when they
Yeah.
retire. Well, they're retired now, but where they want to grow old.
Yeah, you know, my parents were thinking about moving to Washington, where my brother lives. Like, have 2 houses basically, like live there and live here.
Yeah,
Go there on vacation
that'd be
and
nice.
stuff. Yeah,
More
but now
houses,
he's
the
gonna
better.
move back.
Yeah, save the money.
Yeah,
Don't buy another house.
and now I feel like, because I was thinking about moving, I always consider moving and this and that, and now it's like,
Now
probably
you're
not
set
gonna
up
happen.
here.
Now my brother's here. Now I got his kids, and I kind of want to see them grow old, you know, and
Yeah,
grow up, and so I'm excited. I can't wait. He just came and visited, and like me and him are super close, so super excited to have him and his kids, and yeah. Anyway, he's moving back.
that's great.
That's why that mattress right there. You see that, Casper? That's for him.
Is that
Hopefully he doesn't have to move in here. I'm hoping he does.
I was gonna say, is this a gift for him?
Yeah. Well, my parents bought it. It's not a
Okay.
gift. I mean, it's a gift. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely a gift. If he didn't buy it and they're giving it to him, it's
Yeah.
a gift.
They buy a lot of stuff.
Nice. Never used a Casper. Or
Yeah, this is what they
purple.
wanted. I probably wouldn't sleep on it. Doesn't. I need a big, expensive.
It says for listeners, we're looking at the box. It's a very big box.
Yeah.
And it says 40,000 reviews, average of 4.7 stars. That's pretty good. I don't know what my mattress was rated when I bought it from Mattress Firm.
Yeah, they just told me it's a good mattress. I sat on it and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. I'll take it. $1,000 later in my room, and I love it.
Yeah.
But this is like, and it's in a box, guys. Like it's a boxed mattress. Like, how good could that possibly be?
Well, they come and then you just open up the box and it just inflates
I
itself
know,
or
but
something.
it seems like it can't be comfortable. It can't be high quality.
Technology has improved since we stopped the podcast. Mattresses come in boxes now.
I mean, if it is, I want to sleep on it, because if it is, like, that's something I would buy in the future if I move or something, you know, or if I.
It is easy. The fact that you can just order it and it just shows up on your doorstep or your apartment door or whatever like that.
Yeah.
That was a reason I almost got one, but then the Mattress Firm was like a block away and they delivered. Got that when we moved to Chicago.
How's your apartment doing? Your studio?
It's good. It's good. It's small. It's a studio apartment. It's cozy, as I'll say the word for it. It's a lot bigger than most people who have come in there have been like, okay, this is much bigger than I expected, because it is not just a box with, like, some studios are a box and then you have like a kitchen counter on one wall of it, which I was just like, I couldn't have done that. That's just the worst. There were some apartments that are literally where I'm describing, like, from this wall right here to that wall right here. That was the whole apartment.
My God.
Which is insane. And then, like, the bathroom was attached to it, but then the kitchen was like in that corner over there. And I'm describing a very small room to the point where I was like getting depressed about moving. I was like, I can't live here. But then I finally found this place, which was a much bigger. It has like a little entryway in it too. It's got like its own cutout kitchen area where I have my table and a full counter space there, and then the fridge in there. And then it's got like a little changing room that has a closet to it too, and then a bathroom separate off that changing room. So it's much more. I could spread out a lot more because I don't have the kitchen anywhere. I could put a table in its own room too. So then the living area becomes just a living area of bed and couch and TV.
Yeah. That sounds actually pretty nice.
It is pretty nice. It is nice. I'm getting a couch. Well, I've should be getting a couch in the next week.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I ordered a couch.
Cool.
Grown up in life.
Yeah.
I've been using the futon. That was Ben.
Yeah.
I
think you had a couch. Was that Rex couch?
That was Rex's couch.
Okay.
Rex bought that, and then he took that with him.
So are you planning on living there again? Like next year? You re-signing?
Possibly, if things go well.
Okay.
So I think so. It's a good location. Plus, and then another big factor is my realtor?
Realtor? Like
I
Skeletor
don't know why I
from
said it
He-Man?
like that. I don't know why I said it like that. Anywho, my realtor was my good friend who lives right next to me now.
Oh.
So now we'll just walk over to each other's apartments, occasionally talk, hang out. If we ever go out anywhere, we can just easily meet outside and then walk to wherever we're going.
Sweet.
Which is huge. Huge. It's such a that's how it was when we first moved to Chicago. We had me and Rec were living there, and then Randy and Plesha lived like a block away too.
Yeah, that was cool.
So that was really fun. Yeah, new apartment's fun. Slowly decking it out because at first when I moved, I was just so stressed about moving. I was like, I don't want to buy anything. Now I'm just stressed. I got to move everything in here. And then now I'm like situated. I'm like, you know what? It'd be nice to not sit on a futon while I watch TV.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you got the money and you got the time, and you get a nice couch. I wish I had a couch down here, but I don't. Something happened to it. We won't go into details. But the recliner is really nice that I sit in the games in.
There you go.
It sucks that I'm in the basement though, and this is the problem because I work from home, so I'm like here working and walk over there, play video games. It's lonely.
That's a big factor. Why I don't think I also didn't like working from home.
Yeah.
Now, I was only 5 minutes from the office too, but
oh, that's great.
When I was working from home. I mean, I was in my apartment. This was when I was living with Rec, but it's like I get out of bed, my desk's right next to me. Like there's no like different room. There's no room defining work versus where I sleep or where I play a game on my computer. It was very much just like one room. I'm sure if I lived in like a 2-bedroom apartment or something like that, I had an office space and I had a bedroom. I think that I'd be happy to work from home then because I have like, this is my work zone. This is where I can get everything done.
I mean, that's the goal. That's what my dream is, to buy a house, but like the whole market just went crazy as soon as I wanted to buy one.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, I should have bought one in 2019, but
yeah, me
or
too.
2020. But either way, it happens. And I can't look past. But I'm willing to. I can live here for another couple of years. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
I could save so much money.
It is nice.
But it would be a nice. I mean, it's like I have a whole life ahead of me. That's like the next chapter is a house. Yeah. I don't need to rush it. I have my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm only 30, guys.
Yeah. And I mean, it is nice living by yourself or with a friend or just away from your parents in that aspect of it. But of course, then you have to pay for everything else. But it is nice. I've started looking because I've started seeing like what are condos looking like in Chicago.
Yeah,
so
they're not terrible, right?
No, they're not terrible. They're actually, their market has gone down a little bit.
Right.
Where houses have gone up.
Yeah,
but
Chicago I think has been pretty steady, I think, as far as the housing market.
Except for, well, some of the houses are fucking ridiculous. That's just Chicago.
Yeah. But like Austin, like all of the West Coast is crazy.
Oh yeah,
They're going to be in a crash, guys. Wait for it.
Just
West
wait.
Coast.
Bubbles got to pop.
It is going to crash. I guarantee it. Here, not so much. Not so much. Even during the housing crash in 2008, Midwest wasn't really affected that much.
I don't remember it well enough.
But I still think I'm still waiting for more inventory right now because it's just so low. Buyers are like basically on a strike right now. There's nobody buying. Buying is down like the lowest it's ever been.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
High.
No,
where people
because there's no inventory and prices are high, crazy high. Inflation's going up, interest rates are going up. So
That's
everyone's
true.
just like, I'm done. They looked at Google searches of like homes and Zillow and stuff. They're down to like record lows. Like nobody's even looking for houses. They don't even give a shit. They're just like, I'm done.
I know one friend who him and his wife are looking to buy a house around here.
Yeah,
they've been hunting for the past, I think, like 2 months or so.
Yeah, it's not much out there. I bet a lot of people are looking in this area. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know if the prices will come down in this area necessarily, but inventory will go up and you'll have more options. And that's my goal. I just want to have some options. Give the power back to me.
Mm-hmm.
But what else was I going to say about what were we talking about last year? Do you have anything else about last year you want to talk about?
No, those were say. Let me look. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my list here. No, that was pretty much it. Robot vacuum, very fun, very cool. Don't have to vacuum, don't have to sweep because I don't have to vacuum or sweep anything.
How hard is it to do that?
It would take me at least 15 to 20 minutes every week that I'm now saving.
Interesting.
And it happens when I'm at work too. So it's like I don't even have to worry about it. I have it scheduled for on Wednesdays and Fridays. Just it goes on its own.
And it's pretty clean. You say it keeps it pretty clean.
The thing with robot vacuums is it's not about it's never going to be as good as if I took like a Dyson or a handheld and went around each crevasse in my apartment. But the fact that I can run it twice a week, it does a good job. It's not about quality with robot vacuums, it's about quantity. Because if you run it 2 times, it's going to pick up just as much as a regular vacuum would doing 1 time.
Right.
But
That's
again,
interesting.
I don't have to do anything about it.
But at the same time, you don't have any dogs or anything. It's not like you need not like your place gets dirty.
Well, correct. So that's why a robot vacuum is great for me. Because like I'm not
Yeah.
like there's not a shit ton of
point.
hair on the floor that I need to have picked up or anything like
Right.
that.
All right.
It's just like an occasional
It's
like
genius.
piece on the
Does
ground.
it play music too, like DJ Roomba?
No, it does not play music on it.
Okay.
I couldn't get it to do that. I could probably schedule like an Alexa or my Siri to play music while it runs, but I'm never there. So what's the point?
Just for the entertainment for the robot,
Yeah.
I suppose.
So yeah, that's about everything that happened last year. Did you? Let's see. I got favorite movies. Did you see any movies last year? Any good ones? The only one I saw that I really liked was Dune.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dune
That's
was
'cause I
probably
read
the
the book.
highlight for me.
Yeah.
Other
Other than that, there wasn't really much that I
I'm not
remember.
familiar with the book, but I thought the movie was great.
There were the 2 Marvel films.
I think last year was one of the years that I barely watched any movies,
Yeah.
like almost nothing. And I usually check out almost every movie, but yeah, nothing.
That's
Sure,
fair.
there was
I mean,
like another good.
there were
review
a
show.
few. I mean, there were a few on HBO Max because they had that movie to instant streamings to day one. They like the Suicide Squad or Dune or like The Matrix, which was just recently, which I still
The
haven't
Matrix sucked.
watched. What did it really?
I hated it.
Did you like the first Matrix?
Yeah, the first Matrix is great.
Okay.
Second, third one, not so good. Fourth one, not so good. That's my review.
All right. Good to know. Great review. Very
Yeah.
quick.
And
Did you
then
Did you see Spider-Man, by the way?
have not seen Spider-Man,
Ah.
and that's something.
I told
That's
you-
one movie I
told
really
you to
wanna
watch
see.
it so we could talk about it on here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I gotta go to the theater. I'm waiting for it to come on
like 6
video.
months. It was like 2 months ago when I said,
Yeah,
"Hey,
I
you should."
know. I know. I wanted to see it, but now like the hype is down. You know, like the hype was it peaked, and I was like
Oh, it's
excited.
still there.
And now it's snowing out, and I'm like, maybe I'll go this Tuesday.
Does
or
that kill
something.
hype? Does snow kill hype for
That's my hype.
Spider-Man?
I just don't want to go to the theater. You got to drive all the way there. You got to pay $10.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'd rather wait and watch it for free when it comes out on HBO Max or
Disney
Disney.
Plus, probably.
Yeah. All right. What
All right.
else? Oh, Suicide Squad was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed that movie.
There's also a
That's
new
fun.
short series out with Peacemaker.
Yeah,
I haven't watched any
I heard
of it
it's
yet.
good. I haven't.
I've heard it's great. Yeah.
don't
If you
know.
liked him from the movies.
I thought he was good. I mean, he's not great. That's why I'm curious. But I like the premise. I like Suicide Squad. I like that there's a secret squad of people, and that they could easily get killed because they're expendable. It's like the Expendables essentially, except the Expendables. I don't think anyone dies.
No, and that went on for like way too long.
Yeah,
That was like 4 movies of.
yeah. We're
First one was
expendable.
fine. Second one was more, but
I like.
not great. And then the third one was just bad.
I didn't watch the third one, but like they just I
No
don't know
matter how many times you watch it.
Why, I don't know why it's so hard to make these action movies.
Well, you
Like,
got John Wick who's doing it well.
John Wick 3 though was a little action heavy, almost too much action heavy. I thought.
Oh, too much.
Did you see John Wick 3?
What happens in it?
They
Spoiler.
fight. He punches a bunch of people.
Okay. Is
I
that when
don't
he
know.
has the knife fight?
He has the knife fight at the beginning. With
Oh, that's great.
that's a great scene, highlight of the movie probably. And then he fights with dogs, and you're basically watching like the
that's with,
choreography.
what's her name? What's her name? That actor.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry, yeah, and her 2 dogs.
And like the dogs, like you watch, like wow, good. They train these dogs really well. That's like all I'm thinking about the whole time. Is like, how'd they do this stunt? This is great.
Yeah, that's what those
But
movies
like,
are. I love
like
them.
you almost see it. It's like, and then at the
Did
end,
you
they're
want
like
more
they're doing kung fu, and then I just like I'm done.
Did you want more story?
Yeah, I think so. Because like the
Okay.
first one, like you think it actually doesn't have that much action in the first one. His dog, spoilers, his dog gets killed by Theon Greyjoy,
Yep.
and
Then he goes into a fight scene.
then he's got to fight. Yeah, but like that's it. Like it's a whole movie. It's 2 hours, and like that's it.
No, because then he goes to the hotel, fights that girl in her hotel room or whatever like that, and then from there, then he goes to the church and then fights them over there. And then he goes and then spoiler again, he kills Theon Greyjoy.
Okay, so there's a little bit more
There's a
fighting.
good amount of fighting.
So
in that
some
movie.
revenge. Yeah, he does go out, and there's like a car scene. I
Maybe
think.
there's maybe
But
the
like
dog died.
3
in the
is
third
like
one.
you start and he's like getting a bullet removed, and then he just starts fighting people, and then it's just that until the end of the
Well, because it plays off of the story in 2 when he
yeah,
kills
I know.
somebody in the hotel.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So everybody's hunting him now.
But I do wish like Morpheus had a bigger role, and Rafi was a hobo in it.
Yeah,
Remember that?
I know. Yeah, he's the pigeon guy.
Yeah.
Rafi's the homeless man.
I think
contacts
he's
the
going to be a
pigeon
big
guy.
important character in the 4th one. I'm calling it now. Maybe he'll
Okay.
get a fight scene. Anyway, my point is they're great movies. I just think a little too much action. It kind of weighs it. You need like a good balance.
Yeah. You don't want to get too stressed out by all the
Yeah.
action.
Because the kung fu, like I get tired of kung fu. and I say kung fu, but you know what I mean, like fight. Like I watch a lot
Hand
of
to hand combat.
Korean films and stuff, hand to hand combat. Yeah, and like it does. He fought like two guys, and it was a long battle, and you're like, okay, I need a breather. And then you got one other guy comes in, the bald guy, and then he fights him for like almost longer than the other fight.
Yeah. Well, that's why I stopped. That's why I stopped watching Breaking Bad. Was because did you ever finish? Did you watch Breaking Bad at all?
Yeah, I finished. I watched the whole
Yeah,
thing.
I stopped probably like season 4 or 5 because it's just every episode was so stressful. I was so stressed out by each episode. I was like, this is not getting better for Jesse or for him. They're just digging themselves into a bigger hole, and I was like,
Yeah.
I can't do this. And I switched to like Parks and Rec because I laugh
More
at that
lighthearted.
show.
I think Breaking Bad ends superbly. Breaking
Okay.
Bad. The last season.
Superbly.
Have you seen the last season?
No, you can tell me what happens though.
I'm not gonna tell the audio listeners what happened. We'll talk about it off stage. But it's really good. I think it ends really well. And then Dexter's got a new season, which I have not watched.
Yeah,
And
I
Dexter's
haven't
my
checked that out.
favorite show.
That apparently like that's the biggest Showtime launch ever too.
Yeah, I bet.
I did like Dexter a lot. I watched all of those. Last
Yeah.
season was not great.
No, the last 2 seasons or so, yeah, they sucked. They sucked. But the author or the writer or whatever you want to call him,
Creator.
who wrote. Well, actually, okay, so there's based on the books, right?
Dexter's based on a book.
Yeah, book series. You didn't know that?
I don't,
There's like 10
I don't
books.
believe you.
I swear to God. My dad read some of them. Phil has some of them. Shout out to Phil, my boy. Now that author didn't write Dexter, the show.
Okay.
They had it. It's similar, but basically completely different. Like, but the writer or the screenwriter or whatever you want to call him, the guy who made season 1, 2, and 3, and 4, which I
Okay.
would argue are the best seasons. Besides 3 sucks. But like the Trinity Killer, it's fucking phenomenal.
Ice Truck
Bay Harbor
Killer, yeah.
Butcher, Ice Truck Killer. I think those are standout seasons. Episode per episode, line for line, are such good writing. And then it kind of falls off. You always wonder, it's like this show's kind of not good after season 5, season 6, season. And I think it's because this guy who wrote it,
Did he leave?
yeah, he left after season 4. But he's back for the new season. They got him back, and I'm excited. I think I can't imagine it being bad. It could be average or just okay, but it's definitely not going to be bad. You know what I mean?
It's still got Michael C. Hall in it, and it's got Dexter. Yeah, I'm looking at this now. The show's first season was derived from the novel Darkly Dreaming Dexter.
Yeah.
The first in a series of novels by Jeff Lindsay.
Jeff Lindsay. Okay, yeah. And it says that too. Darkly, like in the credits, where it's like the intro when
I
he's
haven't heard the
eating
intro
eggs
in
and shit.
years. Yeah, I remember he puts the hot sauce on the
Yeah.
eggs to make it look like blood. I did think the intro was very cool.
It is a good intro. Great intro.
Okay, yeah, I gotta watch that one eventually.
Great show, guys. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Dexter, man. If you like murders, you'll like Dexter's.
And he's a good murderer though too, kind of.
I mean, is anyone a good murderer? I mean,
No,
that's
that's
an
true.
argument like we can make. Like
Probably not.
he kills bad people, right? But
Yeah.
like, is that good or bad?
Yeah, you gotta let the justice system handle
Vigilante?
him.
Yeah. Should we let the or do we even trust the justice system at that point? Are they
Are they just as
ethical?
bad?
Are they just as bad?
They might be. Can't say anything too much controversial on this podcast.
Some things in Dexter, like a guy who's guilty will get off scot-free, and then Dexter will go and kill them.
Yeah,
And that's kind of cool. That's kind of good.
that's very good. Well, it's good.
I don't know if it's very good.
In the show, it's very good because
It's fun
a
to
good
watch.
show.
But you like Dexter so much that you're just like, yeah, kill somebody, man. Because he
Correct.
feels he's uncomfortable if he's not killing people. And you're like, you kind of get tired. He's like, oh, man, Dexter, you're uncomfortable. Just go kill somebody and get that off your chest, And it feels good when he does. Feels like
does.
a burden's off of my chest.
Feel good. Okay, so we're at the 35-minute mark.
So we got another 25 minutes. Let's go.
Now I have a surprise too.
Oh, no.
Yes, this is a surprise right here. Now I'm not probably gonna do the full thing here, so let me just open this up really quick. Make sure I have this correct. Desktop. Now I'm just gonna play something and then I'm gonna cover it up though.
Is this a game?
No. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Avatar Update. This is the show within a podcast where we talk about the sequel to the highest grossing movie of all time, Avatar. Now, Dylan,
Did you make that?
I did make that. I sampled that from the actual
Okay.
Avatar
I-
motif.
Interesting.
So now I have quite a report here.
Now, I loved Avatar. It's the kid with the arrow on his head, right?
Yes, that is him. He moves air around.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. All right. What kind of updates
and
we got?
you're talking about the live action film, right? That you liked?
Oh, is that what we're talking about? The live action?
Yeah, the live action Avatar, the Last Airbender
Oh,
film
no.
with Ong.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've never seen it. I watched this cartoon. It was good.
Yes, cartoon is great.
But you're talking
regular
about James
movie.
Cameron's.
I'm talking about James
Oh,
Cameron's Avatar. Now, I have a whole report. Now, I timed this report. It's 15 minutes long, so I'm not going to do that all. Basically, I go into the depth of what Avatar was, how it was made,
Oh shit!
how it was created, unless you want me to.
You can do whatever you want.
So let me just start off by saying 321 days is how long, how many days we have left until Avatar 2. Which
You're
comes out-
counting down.
Yeah.
So how do you really like this first movie?
I love Avatar.
Really?
I've seen it. I've probably watched it every year. I've watched it in
Hmm.
3D with my VR headset on.
Yeah.
And then I own like the collector's edition of the actual DVD with like the 3 different director's cut of it with extra film. I've watched all the behind the scenes. I love it, man.
I had no idea you were such an Avatar
I love
fan.
Avatar.
I
I've
think-
been waiting for these films to come
Is this
out.
like one of your top 10 favorite films?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Especially like a theater experience when I first saw it in the theaters. Did you see it in the theaters?
No, I got it on Blu-ray though, and I watched it at home, and I wasn't a big fan of it.
In theaters with like the 3. Okay, so
I mean, look, the visuals are amazing. I just didn't
still
like.
are amazing. Hold up today.
Yeah. I just wish the story was a little bit better.
See, that's what everybody's argument is. Would you think it was like Pocahontas?
I did.
Yeah, that's everybody's argument. Are you saying Pocahontas is a bad movie then?
Not great.
But it's not bad.
It's not bad. It's
got
not
a
a
good
bad movie.
story.
Avatar's not bad.
No.
Good. It's just decent.
And
Very
I
good
think
movie.
I didn't think the same reason that I'm gonna go into what is it? The newest of the Star Wars series, Force Awakens. Basically a rehash of A New Hope or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's to bring people on board, you know?
So,
I think if he had too crazy of a story in the first Avatar with 3D, with a CGI all-world, CGI blue people cast, I think it would have been too much for people to handle.
I don't think so. You don't
I
give
think
enough
so.
credit to people.
I think so.
I don't know, man.
I think so. Well, anywho, Avatar, 321 days until
all right.
the release of Avatar 2,
Sweet.
which has been delayed over 5 times. Pretty crazy, right?
It's been delayed a long time.
Been delayed
So
5
yeah,
times.
it's been crazy.
So
I kind of forgot
originally,
about
it was set. I'm just gonna skip all the Avatar up to releasing Avatar stuff because, if you need, go on Wikipedia if you don't know that.
it.
Anyhow, but yeah, originally Avatar was supposed to release 2014. That's what James Cameron said after the addition of. He's like, okay, we'll make 2 sequels. First one will come out in 2014.
Okay.
Then after that, they said, you know what, we want 2 more sequels on top of that, so 4 movies total after the first Avatar. So it got pushed back indefinitely, and technology that they were going to need wasn't there yet. So the first dates that they gave, and these are also the names of the titles. However, I quote James Cameron, they're among the titles that are in consideration, but no final decisions have been made.
Great.
Avatar 1, great movie. Avatar, The Way of Water, December 18th, 2020. Avatar, the third movie, Avatar, The Seed Bearer. That's a fine name. December 17th, 2021. Avatar, Tolkien Rider, December 20th, 2024. Then Avatar, The Quest for Awa, December 19th, 2025.
Is the cast carrying over? It's a completely new cast, or how's
Cast
this
is
work?
carrying over. You're still going to have
What's his
Zoe
face?
Saldana as Neytiri and Sam Worthington as Jake Sully.
And they're the main characters.
Those are the 2 main characters.
What
However,
do
I
we?
think
Do you know anything about the plot?
Let's get into it. So, the only thing I know about the plot for sure, and it's one of the reasons that this movie was so delayed, was that Avatar: The Way of Water is set to explore the depths of Pandora, which is the
world,
planet
the
that
planet. So they're from Earth, and then they travel to Pandora.
the humans are. The Na'vi are
Or
inhabitants of Pandora.
yeah, they're native. to
Native.
Pandora.
That's a great word. So the issues with the tech and why it was delayed was they're doing all this motion capture underwater. They've done motion capture, if you're listening, is how people get in skin tight suits with dots all over their bodies and all over their faces, cameras in a big warehouse. They track everything that the person does, throw it in the software, and then it basically does the animation. Of course, they still have to tweak it a little bit.
So this is what they wanted to do, though, back in the day, and they couldn't.
Correct. Yeah. In 2014, they didn't have the technology. Nobody had ever motion captured underwater before, so they had to go and basically write all the scripts for all 4 movies too, which took like 3 years, and then develop the technology for motion capturing underwater, which eventually they did do.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
So they started shooting in a 900,000 gallon water tank, which is pretty big. And to perspective wise, a Olympic swimming pool is only 660,000.
It's a little bit bigger than an Olympic pool.
1/3 bigger than an Olympic pool.
All right, that's pretty good size.
Pretty good size. So, and then the biggest thing is in filming this, they have to facial capture the actors. So they don't wear any respirators while they're underwater. They have to hold their breath and act out scenes and then come up for air, or somebody's diving down there with a respirator that they come up to them.
That seems
Seems exhausting.
it seems exhausting. Are we gonna get the best performance from these actors with this?
I think we will, and I think we'll also get the best CG of underwater acting, because most acting
Yeah.
has been done with wire work, same like with Aquaman or with like Gravity in space or so. They're just on wires. This one, they're actually underwater filming it all.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's great. That's great. They did a test. They did a test, and they said the underwater one turns out immensely better.
Oh,
Blew
wow.
the other one out of the water.
Okay,
No
and
pun.
yeah,
So
good. Yeah.
So anywho, that's about it. I have so much more here, but basically, yeah, everything got delayed a bunch when Disney bought Fox. Then COVID came out, which delayed it even more. So now we're looking at, of course, the next Avatar to be December 16th this year. The third one to be December 20th, 2024. Fourth, 2026, and fifth, 2028. Now, the fourth and fifth haven't even actually been made yet either, because they're waiting to see how well 2 and 3 do, which leads me to, I guess, the main point. Do you think 2 and 3 will do well?
For sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm pretty confident. I mean, we look at the release from the first one, and they get all the hype for the years and years and years. I think the hype builds.
Oh, yeah.
I think more because more people can watch it, more people can hear about it. I mean, there's a little bit of hype that I don't think the hype really died down that much though.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it depends on really the marketing team and like how the critic reception of the movie itself, right? If everyone says it's shit, then
Correct, yeah.
But I mean, with the, it's James Cameron directing it. You know, I think if you like the first one, I don't see why you wouldn't like the second one. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Especially, and I assume it's going to be better.
I assume it will be too.
Right.
I think it'll look better. It'll probably be a more
Right.
fleshed out story, considering
Right.
now they're like considering it part of a, whatever the word for a 5 series is.
Yeah. I think I'm excited. I like big series. You know, I don't like side stories.
Yeah.
You know, like
Like Hobbs and Shaw from the Fast and Furious series.
I never
Just a
saw that.
spinoff of the main line.
No, that could probably be decent. I don't know.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Not a lot of cars in it though. More action. You might like it though.
I probably would. I haven't seen any of them. I mean, we talked about them on our first podcast. They never
We
aired.
did. I had
don't
to
know
bring
if
it back up. That's why. Yeah, I think it'll do. I don't know if it'll do just as well. I don't know if it'll reach that like 2.8 billion that the first one did. But I think in no way it's gonna flop.
Let's make a prediction. 2.8 billion. It's the highest grossing film of all time
All time.
before Endgame or before
Endgame beat it, but then they re-released Avatar again, and then it became the
Oh
highest
my
grossing.
god. I remember them
And
doing that.
And I
It's-
wouldn't doubt that Avatar 2 has like the week before they put Avatar 1 in theaters too.
just to hold that record.
Just to hold that record and just to go see it. I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna go see it in theaters again.
I don't understand why that's the most highest paid grossing film. I didn't see it in theaters. I didn't have any desire to see it in theaters. I know you saw it, and a lot of people did. But I'm like, is that because like just the hype?
Yeah, after I saw, I was
Just like, what made you want to see it? You saw blue people in the trailer, and you're like, yeah, this
no,
might be
I had
good.
no say in what we were going to see. I was young. That movie came out. I think I was like 15 or so. I thought I had it in my notes how old I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 years. I was 15 years old. So I went to the movies with my mom, my dad, and my aunt.
Really?
Like they were like, "Hey, we're going to the movies. Let's go see Avatar." They picked it out,
Right.
and we saw it, and I was blown away.
Okay.
And they were blown away so much that they started telling like their brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles
Yeah, you guys
about it too. Like, "Hey, this movie's amazing."
Wow.
Originally, when it was first like starting to market, it didn't market very well because they had blue people on
Right.
on the posters. They're like,
Mhm.
"What the hell is this? What am I watching
Yeah,
here?"
just some fantasy world, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, it was probably fine. I mean, you look at the poster for it, it's like I don't even understand. It's just two blue people faces and then
Yeah.
a sunrise.
Yeah.
Like that's great. But I think it's just word of mouth really propelled it.
That's
after,
crazy.
And it was just, it was the reason that 3D got so big.
Oh
3D
yeah.
TV started coming out.
I remember that. It was probably my first 3D movie that I had.
Because it was like 3D done well, where it was like it actually increased the depth of the actual film instead of like, I forgot what movie, but it's like sparks flying at you or like bolts
Yeah.
being thrown at your face. The stupid 3D.
Like Mad Max was good too.
Yeah, Mad Max had
Fury
like
Road.
one bad 3D scene, I think, but the rest of it was really well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that one's coming out this year. Do you think we'll see a trailer anytime soon? Do you think we'll see a trailer during the Super
So
Bowl?
what day? What's the date you said? 321 days. December.
321 days. December 16th. Do you think we see a trailer at the Super Bowl?
I could see a teaser trailer for the Super Bowl.
I
That's
can
a
see
great
just a teaser.
prediction.
Yeah, just like, hey, Avatar.
Like Avatar, Blue People, Sam Worthington, he's back.
He's back. Zoe Saldana.
I'm curious. Like I said, I like a big series. Like I want an overarching story,
Which it is.
but I want like a spine to the story that goes through each film. But I also want each film to hold its own story as well. That's my hope.
Yeah. And they say
Like Rogue One has his own story. I mean, it
Rogue
obviously
One's good. Great.
it's a great film. That's what I'm saying. Like that's a great standalone, but it doesn't. I mean, it takes place in the world, but doesn't really have any spine going forward.
I don't know if it'll be that standalone because he states that
no, I doubt
separate
it.
stories that have an overall arc inclusive to the first.
There you
film.
go. Okay, good.
So
That's great because it's got the same characters.
Yep.
I'm excited for it. I think I'm more excited for this one than I was for the original. I think it'll do better.
Yeah. You think it'll do
first.
better?
That's a crazy thing to say though, because it's almost impossible. Because no film has ever done better.
Besides Endgame, which was like the
pinnacle
of like a 10 series movies.
Yeah.
Or not 10 series, 10-year movies with 21 different movies in it.
Right. So yeah, there's no way it'll do better. But I have to think it would because it's got. I think the story. I think the movie itself will be.
Now remember,
better.
we're also in the endemic still. I don't think that goes
The
away
endemic.
by 2022.
I think it
December.
will. I think people are going. I think Spider-Man brought a lot of people to the film.
Oh, absolutely.
Theaters. I think as far as theaters go,
You think theaters are okay? I mean, I went to the theater to go see
I
Spider-Man.
think everyone will. I think COVID will be gone by the summer.
By the summer? That's a bold
Okay,
prediction.
I think.
I don't think COVID will be gone.
So my prediction is that
for a
everyone's
few-
got it. Everyone's getting it in the next 2 months. Everyone have already had it and be immune to it, or slightly immune to it. Whereas hospitals won't be. I mean, the people that are in the hospitals are just unvaccinated people.
Yeah, correct.
And they're the ones dying.
Yeah.
And I think they'll all be dead by the time summer comes. Hopefully, right?
I don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully they live.
Well,
but
hopefully
they understand
live.
that they should get the vaccine after that.
They're not going to.
No, but I don't think COVID's going anywhere. Anywho, but yeah,
Well,
I
we'll
think
see.
well, Spider-Man did like it had one of the highest openings of all time, even
Yeah.
in the midst of this COVID.
Which is insane. Which I still haven't seen it, like I said. But
It's fantastic. Well, this is not the Spider-Man update. This is the Avatar update.
I know. Let's stop talking about that.
No,
but the
that's all-
Avatar.
That's all I have. That's all I have for it.
Okay. All right.
So, so this is Avatar update. It'll come back whenever we get any more substantial updates on
Mhm.
Avatar. This one was supposed to be very long. It might be longer the next time we see a trailer because we might have to do a trailer breakdown on everything.
Ooh,
we
that
see.
sounds great.
So, I'll probably play the outro now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that. I'll just cut it in there. And now back to our regular scheduled podcast. So Dylan, have you when I got here, I actually lent you 2 books.
You did.
Yes. What were those books?
This is the First Law trilogy, book 2 and book 3, Before They Are Hanged, and I don't know what was the third one called.
Last Argument of Kings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I read the first 2, and they were good.
Did you?
Very good.
You weren't that fond of the first one, right? You said it was slow, or no? You didn't. You stopped reading the second one halfway through, right?
Yeah, 70% through. 70 or 80. I remember I keep changing because of the audio thing. I think it's just because the audio listening, I have a hard time paying attention to it. That's why I'm really excited to actually have the books. I might reread this ending to the second book actually,
Yeah.
because there's a big fight scene, and I was getting kind of confused when I was listening to it because I just have a hard time.
When are you listening to them? Like while you work?
No, I listen to them either while I work out
Okay.
or while I go to sleep. I'll be like, it's
Oof.
nighttime.
Interesting.
Well, it'll be
I
night
think that's
because
what- I think
I
that's
need
what
to
Mike does too. I couldn't.
listen
think
to them at night.
I'd fall asleep. And
I
then
do
I'd
fall asleep.
I mean, that sounds nice. It's a good way to go to sleep, but I'd rather. That's why I always read. I'll just grab my Kindle and read until I get like
Yeah.
really tired, and then I'm like, okay, I remember up to this point. Turn it off instead of waking up and it's still playing. It's like the chapter.
I put
the
on
end of the book.
sleep. I put on sleep. I have a 30-minute sleep timer, and if it stops and I'm still awake, set it again, 30 minutes, keep going, and then eventually I fall asleep, and then eventually I wake up and I go, "Where was I?" And I don't know.
Then you got to go back
And I
you
miss
gotta
things.
keep skipping.
And
You're like,
sometimes
do I
I
remember
listen
this?
to things twice.
Do I remember this?
Sometimes I miss things.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Because I do that when I drive to work, and so occasionally I'll listen to a book on there, whether it's a book I'm reading or it's just a completely different book. Usually I'll listen to like shorter storied books
Okay.
on there that I can divide up into 20 sections. But even then, I'll sometimes be driving and like be paying attention to the road, as
Right.
of course a driver should be.
Good.
And I'll realize I haven't listened like the
Yeah.
last like
Okay,
20
good.
minutes of
I
this
thought
guy
that was
talking
just
to
me.
No. It's
Okay,
as soon as my
good.
mind starts to wander, I need to actively be like, okay, it's time to listen. Let's listen.
Yeah, I prefer reading a book.
I love reading a book. I think
Yeah.
unless I'm like on a 3-hour car ride, which I know it's like, okay, let's listen to this book. I'm not going to need to pay attention to the road that much. 'Cause I'm going to be like on a highway, keep going straight.
Yeah, and that because I have listened to like Gone Girl. I'm just driving to Purdue, listening to it back and forth.
You read Gone Girl? Did you read the other?
The audiobook.
Well, that's good. That's fine.
I read it before the movie. It was fantastic. I thought it was amazing.
Okay,
the
I've never
movie
read.
came
I've
out.
never read any of that author stuff.
Gillian Flynn, I think.
Yeah.
And I haven't read any of her stuff. Or wait, I can't remember. I know Mike suggests like a lot of the books. I think he says they're great. Gone Girl's fantastic. Have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna say read the book. It's better.
The movie was pretty good though.
It is, but like because the book is a diary
Of the
you're
girl,
reading her
or-
diary that they found.
Oh, okay, I didn't
and
know
it
that.
and then you find out later that well, I'm not gonna. So I mean, it's an old movie.
Just tell me.
Have you seen? Okay, I will. You find out later that like the diary is like all fake, and it's like, but you were reading it the whole time, and you just assume because you're reading a book, you never realize that it's first person and it's could possibly be not real or not. What you're reading is not true. So like, right?
Okay,
And
so continue. I got a question though.
Oh, go ahead. Go ask me.
So basically, you read the book, and it's a diary of what this girl wants to do, but she never does. But then in the movie, she does it. Is that what am I understanding that?
No, no. She does it. She like
You assume. You
so the
assume that
diary
it's
comes from her
false.
point of view, and she's
Yes.
saying how horrible her husband is, and how he beat her, and all this stuff. And then you go to the
Okay.
then it goes to the other point of view where these detectives are coming and talking to this guy, and you're like, this piece of shit. He's hiding all these things. But you know from the diary that she's actually in the right. And then you find out the diary was fake the whole time.
Okay, I see what. So it's still happening, but it's
Yes.
okay. You don't know that the diary's
Right.
her
And-
perspective. That's very made up and very
Right. And it's very it's
vengeful
one of the
against
it's
him.
a great twist. And the
That
movie
is a
like
great twist.
you're
Should've read the
seeing
book.
like it just doesn't hit me as hard. And of course because I read the book first, but I still think like that the reading the diary is better than like watching the film.
Yeah.
And finding out, oh, this what I'm watching now it never happened. It doesn't hit as hard.
Yeah, I think
It's not surprising.
yeah, I think from like from the movie when I saw it, I don't think I ever got the impression that Ben Affleck, the guy, was he was actually committed those crimes against his wife. I don't
Right.
think I ever got that twist, which would have been nice in the book. I
Right.
think I always thought whoever played whatever that girl's name is, who's in the Wheel of Time show, I believe.
She's great, by the way.
I'm gonna look it up now, but I don't.
I know
ever,
her.
I never
I know her
got
name
the,
too. It sucks.
impression that she was a good person either.
Right. Well, that's I said. That's part of the acting.
Rosamund Pike.
Yeah,
Rosamund
Rosamund Pike. And I think it's because of the acting and the directing and stuff. Whereas the
Yeah.
book, like they really hammered in, like she's good. She's been mistreated.
good
and
person.
you start, you're on her side the whole time. And
Yeah.
you find out there's a twist. I think it's beautifully done in the book.
Do they get back together at the end of the book? Like at the end of the movie?
Yeah, he blackmails her, or she blackmails him, or something. They get back together. I think
Okay.
it's kind of similar ending, right? Is
Yeah,
how it ends in the
something
book,
like that. Yeah.
the show. Yeah. So I don't remember. I mean, again, that's been 7 or 8 years since
Yeah.
I've read that too.
Cool though.
But yeah, man, I love reading. I really do. Started reading The Wheel of Time. It's almost too long. And I knew going into it, I was like, I'm
14
going to hit
books.
these books. I'm going to hit 3 a year. I'll be done by when I'm 90. It'll be easy.
You got to just take my plan, or at least my plan. I thought about doing it this year too. So I've got like a book goal of like 20 or 30 books this year. So we're at 28 last year.
It's insane.
Was to add it onto my list, but I think like I got to make like that full year, like just Wheel of Time, and just accept that I'm not going to read as many books because they're going to take so much longer.
Well, if you split them up and do 3 a year,
Yeah, but then that's that's like a lot of years.
it's 14
I don't know how
books.
long I'll live.
They're big books, though. You can't read all of them in a year. I don't
How many
big.
pages? They're not as big as like the Stormlight Archive.
Probably not. They're close. They're big. Yeah, no, I think they are. Because the later the series goes on, the bigger the books get. The first one's the smallest one, and it's pretty big.
Eye of the World is the first book in the series. And
Yeah.
it has 814 pages. So
And they
Similar
get
to
longer.
Dune.
They start getting to 1200, I think.
What's
and,
the last? What's the Memory of Light? Is that one of them?
I don't know. The second one, I don't know.
The
Just
Memory of Light is book 14.
Yeah, how big is that?
That's with Brandon Sanderson too, helping out.
Yeah, and that makes me want to read it. If you wrote the whole
That
thing,
one is 912 pages.
okay. Well, because that's the ending, it might be. Who knows? I don't know. But those are all pretty. I would say, arguably big books. 800 pages. I think we can all agree is pretty big.
That's very big. That's how long. Yeah.
That's like Before They Are Hanged and Last Argument of Kings. They're 500 and 600. It's 1100.
Yeah, that's a good size.
Close
It's
to
like 500
800.
or 600.
But yeah, I think the TV show. Have you seen the TV show, by the way?
No, I haven't seen the TV show. I was conflicted with myself on if I should read the books, but like while the TV series is going,
Like what I decided, yeah.
Yes, correct. Like what you decided. And then one of my coworkers was like, "Watch the show first. The show's not as good as the books." So I was back and forth on that because they kind of aged. They aged down some people.
Like you said, watch the show first.
Yeah, because he said the books are so much better.
So why would you say watch the show first?
Because if you read the books, you'll be upset with the show.
Oh,
This way, I'll be upset. I'll be fine with the show, and I'll be happy with the books.
I like the show.
You haven't read the books.
I haven't read the books.
Okay.
And I don't think the show is like amazing. It ain't Game of Thrones.
No.
Game of Thrones season 1 like blew me away. It blew my family away, and they picked up the books right afterward. And this doesn't have that quality.
No. Well, it's the first season. Oh,
The
yeah.
acting, the casting, it's pretty weak.
Yeah.
And these are the characters we're gonna get through the whole thing too. So I'm like,
Yeah.
but it is good enough to where like it's a good fantasy series.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
It was good enough for me to say I think if the books are better, I'm willing to read this.
I got you.
I could see where they would be, but at the same time, it's good enough to where it's like, I could just watch this show, 14 seasons and be happy.
14 seasons.
Assuming, I don't know.
Maybe.
They might
I don't know.
spill some.
I don't know if a season a book if they keep that up. Yeah, because I mean that one's. I think they already renewed it for a second season. They got Lord of the Rings coming out in like the September of this year. Amazon Studios.
I know. I don't
The
know.
Ring of Power. It's called. Is what it's called.
Yeah, I've heard of this. Is this based off a book? Silmarillion or some shit?
I mean, I have no idea. I think it's just more another story in the Lord of the Rings series. I don't even know if it's a story that J.R.R. Tolkien wrote.
Is Peter Jackson directing it?
No. Absolutely not. Peter Jackson's done with Lord of the Rings.
Okay, good.
Why is that good?
Because The Hobbit was horrible.
The Hobbit had a very troubled start. He didn't get thrown on to direct the film until like a month up until it was supposed to be.
Yeah, he was really upset about that.
Yeah.
And they're actually not that bad.
No,
I think
they
the
didn't
last
need to be
one,
three
though,
for
last one was
sure.
overdone.
Make it two movies. If they made it two movies, I think they would have been a much more regarded film.
Oh yeah, you know what? The first one is like 3 hours long. The Hobbit, first one, like
yeah. Second one's just I think it's the
quality,
same length
but
of that.
It's long as hell.
They look good, but yeah, I think they definitely did not need to
Yeah.
make it three movies. That was just the studio wanting some money.
I like new series though. I'm a big fan of like. There's so many. We especially you. You read so many books. You know, there's so many good series out there that they could be making, and they don't need to redo.
I know. Well, it'll make money.
I know,
Probably.
But like Game of Thrones made money, and that was a new series.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody was expecting that, and I think everyone's looking for that too. And
Yeah.
hopefully someone will find it. I think Wheel of Time. They probably thought that was going to be.
The Witcher kind of is a newer one. I haven't
Witcher-
watched the second season,
You
but
haven't watched-
I've heard it's much better than the first.
I watched the first episode. I was like, all right, I'm back. I'm back in
Okay.
this. My sister wants to read all those books. By the way, are they good?
Yes.
Are they worth it for a woman who's watched the first season of Witcher?
Yeah, I think they're worth it. I think the more The Witcher was like the first long series I've read in a long time. That was like in 2020. Witcher series, the TV show came out, and then I was like, I want to read the books, and I read all of them, and I thought they were great at the time. Loved them.
Right.
As I distanced myself away from them,
Yeah.
and reading like other books like Mistborn, Red Rising, Joe Abercrombie,
Yeah.
First Law, they're not as strong as in my mind. But overall, I think because the story is very just like kind of all over the place. Especially the first two books are short stories, which had no really correlation to it, and then 3, 4, 5, and 6 I think are like the Witcher series, and like the 7th book is another standalone book that takes place after all of that. But I think they're good. I think they're worth reading. Absolutely.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I'll tell you that.
The characters I think are where The Witcher stands out the most. Geralt, Ciri, Yennefer, all of them.
Ciri's great in the show. Like, I mean, her acting's fine, but
She's
like,
better in the books.
I like the character.
Yeah.
That's the most like, even because Witcher 3, I guess, the video game,
Yeah.
has her in it, and interesting character, and I'm excited to see her kind of fleshed out in the show, in season 2 at least.
Yeah.
I assume season 2 is gonna be more about her, her relationship to Geralt.
Maybe, I don't know. I've heard from people who've seen all the season that it differentiates itself very much from the books.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing in your opinion?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know how badly it differentiates itself. I think not everything has to follow along. I mean, like,
Okay.
if people read the books, that's great. They don't. I mean, it's like, do I want to watch the same thing that happened in the books, or do I want them to surprise me a little bit? I don't know. I think if it's a good surprise, if it's done well, if it's like really garbage, like how Game of Thrones ends, like that, like just all of a sudden, like this character's a completely different person all of a sudden, and she's mad, then
it sucked.
I think that's different. But I think if it differentiates itself from the book and then it does it so well while still paying tribute to the book, I think that's fine.
Have you seen Cowboy Bebop?
I have not.
TV show. So this is a very they actually have a petition. The season was canceled. The show's canceled on Netflix. Okay, now it's an adaptation.
Oh yeah. Oh, the live action.
The live action.
Oh yeah. That got canceled like as soon as it released.
I know. It sucks. I watched it and I think it's really bad, but I watched the whole thing and I enjoyed it a lot.
Okay.
And that's my review for that. Now it's an adaptation. Sorry, of the anime Cowboy Bebop, legendary.
Yeah. Never seen it.
It's like I don't even know if it holds up that well, honestly. But at the same point, it's almost like exactly like it. Almost like there's a little slight differences here and there. But to me, it's like, why are you making it like a 1-for-1? Where it's like you have an anime that's like everyone loves and it's like a masterpiece, and then you're making it a 1-for-1. It's like, why am I want to watch? Who's gonna watch live action over the anime? I mean, I guess some people will.
Yeah, I guess.
But everyone hates it. Everyone's shitting on it because it's not good.
Yeah.
Just make it like do your own thing. If they would have kind of did their own thing a little bit more, I think they could have got an audience.
I think that, especially they're both visual like formats of watching the show. Whereas a book versus like a TV show is different. You might be like, oh, I should tie it more 1-to-1 because book, not everybody's book or that.
Exactly.
No, I agree.
I think that's a great way to think about it. And like it doesn't translate that well when you have like an anime character saying a line and then you have a human saying a line. It just doesn't work as same, and they kind of screwed that up. And I think the casting kind of. But that was interesting to me. I don't want them to remake things that have already been made really well. It's like, what's the point? Just give me something new, or like make it your own thing. And that's kind of what The Witcher. It's like maybe making it a little different is good.
Yeah,
it gives you kind of a different taste.
I've heard from everybody who's watched the second season. They've everyone who has watched the second season who hasn't read the books, I think, really liked it.
Yeah.
So it must be good. It's just a different story. So people probably went into it thinking like, oh, I want the books, but it's not the books, and that's why I'm mad. Rather than like, is this still a good story?
And that's how people are always gonna. You're always gonna. You can't make everyone happy.
Correct. You can't do that.
The goal is just to make a good show,
which I hope they did. I mean, I enjoyed the first season a lot, and it wasn't that great of a first season.
I thought it was okay. I kind of got lost, kind of got confused. I know a lot of my family. I think my dad just like stopped watching. He watched the whole thing, but I think
did have a weird timeline.
Some people just like stopped watching it because they got bored of it or something.
Yeah. How far are you in the second season?
Episode 1.
Okay.
I finished that. I think so. I'm in like 2 or 3. I'm on episode 2 or 3.
I was gonna ask you like, does the same timeline like skip happen like where they kind of introduce it? So you don't know that.
I don't know.
Maybe next time we record.
Yeah,
I'll
keep you updated.
It too.
So what are you reading?
Currently, I'm reading Mistborn Era 2.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which is Wax and Wane, which is a quintology, which is 4 books.
Okay.
The last book is supposed to be out this year.
I can't believe he's still writing. This guy writes like crazy.
Did you know he has 2 more eras of Mistborn planned?
No. That's cool, though. I like that world.
Like the modern world, and then the fourth one is going to be like a space opera.
Cool.
That sounds great.
I like the magic system in Mistborn. And by the way, people for listening, so Mistborn is about these characters who drink like vials of metal pellets, basically, and different metals like copper and zinc.
Copper and zinc are 2 of them.
They give you certain abilities.
Yeah, so like steel, if you take steel, you're called a coin shot. You can push things away from you.
Yeah, so they'll carry like a purse full of coins and shoot them at people like a gun.
Yeah,
because they can push the metal, the copper, or whatever.
And then if you're like iron, you can pull metal towards you. They're like they come in pairs.
Yeah, I mean we don't get into too much about.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember if I got those 2 right. Which I did. Yeah, okay.
But it is a really cool, interesting system, and most people are born with like one ability. But the main character, she's Mistborn. She can use all the metals and all the abilities.
Yeah.
So she can take a vial with every single metal, drink it, and then get all the powers from all the metals, which just makes her special.
Yep.
So it's about her life, and it's really interesting series. It's really cool. And I'm happy he's making more with it because I think there's a lot you could do with that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm reading that one right now. I'm on the last book there, the Bands of Mourning or whatever, and it's just getting better and better.
Wow.
Each one. The first one was fine, but it was from what he said in like the intro of the book. He's like, this was never planned to be part of the trilogy. This is just like me kind of fleshing out the characters a little bit.
Okay, cool.
And so, but it was still good compared to other books that I've read. But yeah, so that's what I'm reading, and I'm reading the Stormlight after that because I know
after that you went straight into the Way of Kings.
Straight into the Way of Kings.
All right.
Just taking Brandon Sanderson all the way.
Mike's read. He's on the second one, almost done with it. Words of Radiance. He loves it. I think the second one is better than the first. He said
it's his favorite series so far. He thinks.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's not mine.
No, I know.
By a long shot, it's not mine.
What's your favorite series?
Well, Red Rising.
Okay.
Red Rising. But I'm different. I like different things.
Yeah.
I need it, for me. It's just it has to be a lot about pacing. I don't want anything to be slow ever. If you can cut as much slow out,
you need some slow.
And I'm not talking about like.
How do you not like John Wick 3 then?
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about just straight action. It's like if you go to the Game of Thrones, like you read Rob and Catelyn's chapters, like they're just sitting in a military room, like and they're just talking about strategies. And for me, that is engaging almost as like fighting because they're coming up with plans. They're saying we should do
fighting
this
with their words.
Yeah. And so for like to me that is engaging or whatever. So you need stuff like that. You basically just need plot development.
Yeah. I can see that.
I need things to happen. I don't always need
if it's like just a character going off on his own to do something really quick. Or that.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need someone to tell me a story about his past and then like it has no relevance to the future. You know, it needs to have some kind of relevance to the future.
Okay.
Like when I was a kid, this kid he stole my money when I was my lunch money. You know, and then
what's his name?
Later on, you see the same kid, and then you're
like that kid stole my money.
You give him money. You're like, here, I know you're poor. Here's some money because I knew you were poor. Yeah, I see. This is your family. You find out he's actually
poor. You realize,
poor.
He stole money because he needed the money,
right?
Just as much as you had the money.
Yeah, something like that. Something that ties in.
That's a good story. Write a book about that.
There you go. That's good storytelling. So like things that tie in, I like a lot. You know, and if I feel something's unnecessary or meaningless, my brain doesn't pay attention.
Okay.
So the Way of Kings, it's a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
But you read up to like the last book.
It's very repetitive.
There's 4 out now, right? And you read up.
I read the third. I'm in the halfway through the third one.
Okay.
I think it just gets really boring.
Okay. Well, we'll see. That's next up on my list after that.
The second one, though, I remember reading the second one and thinking this was crazy good.
Yeah.
But again, like it's
falls
just
off.
It's we were talking huge, massive books.
Like
and this would be like
pages.
7 or 9 of them or something.
He's doing 10. And then he's doing after 5. After he comes out with 5, he's taking a break writing more Mistborn. And then he's doing the next 5 after that. Because he said like there's 2 arcs, book 1 through 5, and then book 6 through 10.
It has some of the most interesting ideas. I feel like he's almost saved all of his interesting ideas.
That's good.
And he's putting them in this series. Because he's got some really cool characters with some really cool, interesting things.
I love it. Let me ask you this. Is there a character named Hoyd?
No.
Okay. Curious.
I mean, I don't know. I couldn't remember. You'd have to ask Mike.
I gotta ask Mike that.
The Wit. There's a character called the Wit.
No, I'm talking about the Hoyd.
Okay. The Wit is a character, from what I understand, that goes through different Brandon Sanderson's books.
As does Hoyd.
Okay, that's interesting.
He appeared in Warbreaker first, which is just a standalone kind of story. And then he just appeared in the Bands of Mourning books.
So maybe that's the same guy.
Might be.
They call him the Wit, but he might be Hoyd. That might be his real name.
Yeah. So
is he intriguing?
He is in Warbreaker. I mean, I didn't know he appeared in different books. That was my first time encountering him.
I didn't know that either.
Like, oh, that's cool. And then like he appeared in this one, and he states his name. Like he's like, "Hey, I'm Hoyd," and he's like this weird guy who comes out of a bush to give the main characters like a coin of some sort. And it's like really suspicious. Like, what's happening?
Is he like nice and funny? Witty.
He is a little witty in the Warbreaker. He's like a storyteller, so he's telling the main character about the past of something. Okay. So he knows a lot clearly. But then in this one, he acts like a homeless man. He's like, "Spare me some change," and he gives him, and he's like, "That's too much." And as the main character's walking away, he throws him a coin, and he catches it, and the guy disappears, and it turns out to be a coin that like
interesting
in the story.
Yeah, so he has got parts to play in these series.
I know, I like it. I was like, that's kind of smart. That's cool having a character that jumps between like all these different worlds.
Yeah, it is really cool. Yeah, so maybe I want to finish the Stormlight Archive. I will someday.
Someday.
I need to start reading more though. That's the problem. I got all these books.
Do like a book a month. Do a book a month.
It's harder. It's easier said than done.
Just stop playing so much. Stop playing Overwatch like we did
I
last
like
night.
Overwatch. I know. I that's why before I go to bed at night, I try to read a chapter.
I read a chapter. I read one or two chapters. I stay up a little too late, probably. And then I also do it at lunch. Like if I'm at work, I'll bring my lunch and I'll read
Okay.
for like an hour.
Yeah, I have video games, so.
Yeah, see? Just sit down on the couch, grab a book, read.
I know. I need a better place to read though. Because upstairs in the middle room, there's a nice couch, but there's always people there. In my bedroom, it's like I don't like to read laying down all the time.
No, read laying down sucks.
Okay, good.
You gotta get a reading that little rocker over there.
I thought about it.
Like a cozy chair.
Okay, I'll try it.
Just don't look
I
at
need
the
a
TV.
light behind me. Yeah, I can concentrate. I just need good lighting in a relaxing chair. I'm good. In the summer, I read all the time because I'll sit out in the front outside, or I'll go in the hammock and read. And
That
it's
is nice.
just like relaxing. I love that.
Oh, hammock reading's the best. When
So
we went to one of my friend's bachelor party last year. We got like just a house in the middle of nowhere with a lake, and one of my friends brought a hammock, and while they were out fishing, I'm not a big fisher at all.
Me neither.
I hate fishing. I just was in the hammock just reading my book for like an hour or two every day.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It was great. You know,
Yeah.
good for him for getting married too, but I had a blast.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So,
Um,
have you watched? We're a little bit over time here, but I got to ask you: have you watched
okay.
Succession?
No,
Okay.
I heard it was amazing. It's the best show of like past
I just
couple years.
got back, or I never took a break from it. I got into it like a week ago, and I'm in season 2, episode like 6 or so. I'll turn it on when I work out or something like that, when I'm cooking, anything like that.
Okay.
It's so good.
All right.
It's so good.
Okay.
I've loved every second I've had of it. The characters, the drama between the characters. It's just
Okay. I've heard so many good things. I'm gonna watch it. I've made decisions, especially after you. I like recommendations, by the way. If you guys want to write into their Matt and Dylan podcast at Gmail. If you have
Love
any recommendations, I
recommendations.
love recommendations. Someone tells me something good. But otherwise, I don't know if it's something. I still don't know. But having someone's recommendations, it's a little bit.
It helps. It helps,
Yeah.
especially if you know the person too. If you don't know
Right.
the person though, maybe they have a different taste than you. Can't hurt to try it out.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. If enough people though, like say, like, and I hear it, that's what I'm saying. I've already heard Succession's good.
Yeah.
And now I have your recommendation too. It's like, okay, I should probably check this. You know?
It's really good. I was kind of shopping around shows. Like I wasn't sure what to stick to. I was like, this is good. Arcane. I finished Arcane, of course, but that was a quick show to watch.
So is Arcane, is there a season 2?
There's going to be a season 2, yeah.
Because it kind of ended abruptly. And I was kind of upset. I like when a season ends with a closure of some sort. Do you think it had closure?
I think it had closure.
I was waiting for the two girls to talk to each other.
Vi and Jinx,
Yeah,
they did talk to each other at the end.
barely.
Jinx was like holding her hostage.
Yeah,
but
and they barely like. I was hoping like I don't know, but now that I guess there's a season 2, it was like okay, they'll probably explore a little bit more of the relationship in the future. That makes sense.
see, I'm curious. I don't think I wouldn't be surprised if season 2. For our listeners, this is Arcane, the League of Legends inspired show on Netflix.
Arcane.
Really good, fantastic. And you get to learn about the characters from this game without actually playing the game, which is a huge bonus.
Is Jinx in the game?
Yeah, Jinx and Vi are both champions you can play in the game. It's a fine game. It's kind of mentally draining to play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play.
I play it still occasionally, but no. In the game though, I mean, those two sisters hate each other. Now I could see, and so the way it ended, I was like, that's fine. That's the way it ends. Like they do not get along.
yeah.
They never will get along.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised in season 2 if it's a completely different story about some other two characters or one character in Piltover or wherever they're at. I think it's Piltover.
That makes more sense. I kind of forgot that there were characters in a video game.
Now, if do you want a little heads up as to where Jinx or where Vi goes?
What do you mean?
Like what her
Where her
future
story
is?
Like where her story goes?
Yeah.
No. I'll
Okay.
watch it.
All right. It's just gonna be a little quick glimpse. It's mainly
All right, go
with
ahead.
her and Caitlin work together on the police force.
No.
She becomes a sheriff.
Oh my god. I mean,
So,
that's fine.
That's about it. That's in character. That's her game. That's her character. Is Vi is a sheriff of Piltover along with Caitlin.
okay. Cool.
So
That seems about right.
But I could see. I hope they continue to follow Victor more because Victor in the game, he's like a full metal man. Like he deteriorates himself pretty hard somehow.
He's the villain.
He's the guy who like keeps touching that stone
Yeah.
in his underwear.
Okay. I
And
was
it's like-
wondering like what because they didn't even go into anything with that guy.
No, he doesn't. He
And I'm
doesn't.
like, who is this? What is going on
Yeah,
here?
he turns. I don't know if he becomes. I haven't looked in the lore of him, I guess, but I don't know if he's a villain necessarily. But he is a full like metal person,
Interesting. His whole body it's
Whole-
kind
yeah.
of like Full Metal Alchemist.
pretty much.
Yeah, interesting.
So
But I like Jinx a lot. I think she's a great character.
yeah, I loved that show. I mean, the world they built around this game is insane.
I
They've
had no idea.
They've got 2 more games. They've got an MMO apparently being made, and they've got a fighting game. Now
I'm
too,
excited.
with the
The fighting game looks incredible. I don't play
Yeah.
fighting games, but
I'd
it looks
love to get
incredible.
into fighting games one day. I tried,
Yeah, I'm not going to.
and man, have I not.
Guilty Gear Drive or whatever.
Guilty Gear
That game
I
looks-
keep wanting trying to buy because I
That's
bought
awesome.
Mortal Kombat. Or no, I bought Injustice 2 back in the day.
Yeah.
Played it, beat the campaign. Campaign's fun, but then you just go online and you getting smashed every time.
Yeah,
and then I
can't-
play
I'm
it
not into
like
that.
someone comes to visit and they're like, hey, you want to play a game? Let's play some Injustice. And I crushed them because I'm playing it a little bit more than them. And they're like, can we play something else?
Yeah, I know. It's like,
It's just
that's
well,
why fighting games don't work unless you
unless you know a buddy who's like
also
on
played
par
it.
with you.
Yeah, and it's hard to do.
Yeah. So
But that's cool. I'm excited for the MMO. I've been trying to get into MMORPG worlds lately. I don't know.
yeah, I tried Final Fantasy 14 out. I'll still go back to it occasionally, probably.
I want to switch to my character, and they won't let me buy a new character because the game's so popular. All the servers are full, and you can't create a character.
Can you buy the game? Or you already own the game, don't
I
you?
have the trial,
Oh,
and since I already have it, I don't have to get like I can still play it.
okay.
Because I got the trial long ago.
Yeah, so for listeners, this is a game that came out. Originally, it came out like in 2011, did poorly. They shut it down, relaunched it, and then every expansion apparently it's gotten better and better and better to a point where this expansion came out, and like it was so crowded. You'd usually have to wait. Like when I was playing it, it'd be like come home from work, log on, go do something for 3 hours
Wow.
while the queue gets in, and you finally get in. To a point where they took it off the store. They stopped selling it. They're like, we don't want
Yeah.
your money anymore. We can't afford to take your money away because you won't be able to play.
Yeah, which is really
Which
a
is
good thing to do.
wild.
It's a
Yeah,
great
it's
thing
great.
to do.
It's fantastic that they did
just keep
that.
selling it and making 10-hour queues,
But,
screwing everybody over.
Man, that was just shocking that it was clearly
That
I'm
just made me
surpri-
want to play it more, though. I think I don't know if it's a marketing strategy or not, but it's like,
Yeah.
they didn't want to do it. But it's like I'm like, whoa, this game's so popular that they can't sell it anymore. That's crazy. I want to play. And then I play it. And I'm like,
because my sister and my brother-in-law they play it all the time. They like took off time for the release. They even say like the first part of the game, A Realm Reborn,
Yeah.
or what it's called, is just a slog.
that's what everyone says.
Once you get through that, then it gets better.
I know, but
But I
it's
burned
so
out by the time I
sloggy.
got through it. So like, I was like, I don't even want to play anymore.
I don't even know. I'm at like level 20, and I'm like, I'm burned out.
Yeah.
I can't. But I also have an archer, and I want to have a guy with a sword.
Okay.
And like making out the sword,
That's
I
an
don't
easy
even know.
fix.
You got to go to like another land and find a sword,
Yeah.
and then I gotta level him up again, and
Yes. But you get double XP
for what?
for your character. If you have a higher character, so let's say your archer is like 20, you get double XP up to level 20 on any
Oh,
other
okay.
character.
Okay, that makes me a little want to do a little. But then I don't even know. There's so many quests.
Don't do it. Just do story quests.
Do
and
I
the main
still?
quest.
So I spawned in like some.
Final Fantasy podcast.
Well, real quick, I
No.
spawned in like a forest area.
Okay.
That's where my character spawns.
That's where you spawn.
And there's like, do I have to go get the sword and then come back and do the main quest in this? Is everyone do the main quest in this forest area?
Does it have like the little comet shape to it?
Yes.
Then that is the main story quest. Every class does that quest. There's
Okay.
class quests, which then you like get like you pick up like a sword and you're like, hey, you're now a marauder. Here, go kill some stuff.
Okay.
Then you do that, but then you can't advance in the story until you do that. The MSQ is what it's called.
Okay, I was just doing straight main story quests.
Yeah, which is good. That's what you want to do. That'll get you to 50 and out of a realm reborn the quickest.
Right. Okay. Well,
But you still need to do your character quests.
the other
for
thing
the
is though,
class.
like the social aspect of. So say I get to level 60 or whatever.
Yeah.
Am I just queuing up with like random people and going into a dungeon?
You can. I think you have to if you have the trial.
Yeah, that sounds so boring, doesn't it?
Well, if you pay for the game, then you can queue up with me or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I've queued up with my sister, my brother, my
Yeah, but you guys,
my
they're all like
3
different
brother-in-laws.
levels.
Yeah, but some of the queues don't matter levels. Like
Yeah.
they're like level 90, but they're still queuing with me, and I'm level 50 because it's
It
called like
scales.
syncs. Yeah, it syncs their level down.
And is it fun?
It's pretty fun, especially some of the raids that we did.
Yeah.
We didn't do any crazy hard raids or anything like that. That's the thing. It's not like you can do like the full game, all the raids, without like going to a voice chat with any of your raids.
Right, and that seems weird to me.
It seems weird because in like World of
'Cause in
Warcraft,
World of Warcraft-
you have to like really plan out like
Which
what
I
you have
like.
to do.
It's
I
the
like
kinda
that too. Same with
fun part.
Destiny, which is why I like the Destiny raids
Yeah.
too. You have to like constantly talk to your team.
Yeah.
So that was what also kind of was like, huh? I was like, I don't know. I like a good, and there are serious raids, and I'm sure they probably do have people who get in voice chats for like I think they're called
Yeah.
Savage or something. But that's the fact of that is, yeah, I don't know how much, but
Yeah, I just like World of Warcraft, I think.
good. Who knows?
I wish they'd upgrade, like, had it, like, Unreal Engine, like, graphics.
just a graphic update for it all. That'd be a lot of work.
I don't even know if it's possible.
I don't think
not
it's
right
possible.
now. Not in today's
Absolutely
age.
not.
Because
They-
you have
it'd
to,
probably-
this whole world you have to update. But
it'd
you
probably-
could do it.
It'd probably be like that's like a 10-year project.
In 10 years, we'll
10
get it.
years, we'll see. Prediction time. 10 years.
I don't know.
World of Warcraft 2,
But
only on Microsoft.
it's such a fun game. Anyway, we'll stop talking about MMORPGs.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I'm getting sure nobody's listening at this point.
we are 2 hours and 22 minutes in.
Wait, how much?
2 hours and 20. Or sorry, 1 hour
1
and
hour.
22 minutes. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
It says for some reason the timer on the thing starts with 1, which I
1
don't
hour and
understand.
22 minutes. That's about a normal how long a podcast should
Pretty
be.
good. Some
right?
podcasts I listen to go for like 3 hours, but then they also get on rants like that for 30 minutes.
I think it's good. I think you need a good rant every once in a while.
Absolutely.
We got plenty more to talk about too.
Oh yeah. Last thing.
Okay, no, last thing.
Do you want to talk about something else?
No, I was just saying.
said
for
plenty
the
more.
future
Okay.
podcast, we have a lot of material to go over.
We read last year. You and me. We did the Shadow of the Gods.
Yeah, it was great.
Right,
Is the
good
sequel
book.
coming out soon?
Second one's coming out in April.
Oh, sweet.
So
Okay,
get
I'm
ready
excited for that.
I figured if we're doing this podcast still too, get a nice read along going.
Ooh, oh yeah. So yeah, read Shadow of the Gods. First book. I think it's fantastic. I think it's fun.
I think it was one of my favorite
action-packed.
books of last year.
Yeah, it's really good.
So read it. I forgot the guy's name who writes it. Looking it up right
I
now.
have no idea. Oh, actually, I do have an idea.
John Gwynn.
John Gwynn. Yeah.
John Gwynn. So yeah,
he
Shadow
wrote
of the Gods.
Malice, another book.
Yeah,
Have you heard anything about that? Because I kind of want to read that.
I've heard they're good. It's just like that was like a 6-book series or something like that. And
Oh, I thought it was a trilogy.
no, I think it's like 4 or 5 books.
Oh.
So I was like, I don't really. That's a lot to go into.
Yeah, we got so many books on our plates right now,
Yeah.
guys. We got to get through them. We got
So,
30
yeah.
books to read this year.
30 books to read, and I'm almost at number 4.
Crazy.
So yeah, Shadow of the Gods. Read that if you want, and then Hunger of the Gods comes out in April, which I think we should do another.
Yeah, we will.
Those were fucking.
Book club.
It was a good book.
We're just starting a book club.
Starting a book club.
Dylan and Matt book club.
Yep. So look out for that.
Okay. All right. That's awesome.
Other than that, yeah, I mean, no other notes really. I don't have anything else. You have anything else to talk about?
I don't.
No.
I'm happy though. You got to come here and
I
you
am
got to
very-
do
I'm
this in
very happy I
person.
got to
It's
come
fun.
here. Got to
And
hang
I
out
like.
again.
We wish we could do it more in person, but maybe we will.
Maybe we will. We
We
could probably. It's only an hour drive.
Is there another game coming out that we're gonna play in the future? What's the next game?
I don't know. Maybe Resident Evil 4 remake. Whatever that.
I don't even know if that'll ever come out, but
It'll
we'll
come out
see.
I think we'll see it maybe this year.
I don't think we'll
Towards
see
the
it
end of this
until
year.
like
Other than that, I don't
2025.
think there's. I mean, we're not gonna play Elden Ring.
I'm gonna play Elden
Yeah,
Ring.
well, yeah, not together, but yeah,
Yeah,
you're
no.
gonna play it. I'm not gonna play it. I'm gonna be playing either Horizon or Destiny, so I haven't decided on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. You probably play Destiny because like it's topical.
It's,
It's,
it is
relevant at the
yeah,
time.
Horizon. If I waited month, change.
I'm sure you're gonna see once the reviews come out, the 10 out of 10s reviews. You're gonna be like, I gotta play this.
I'm gonna be very anxious to
It's
buy
not
both
gonna
of
get a
them.
10. I think it'll get a 9.5s. Elden Ring though,
Man,
I don't think it'll get 10s either.
I don't know. It looks fine. It looks
Looks incredible.
so much like Dark Souls,
one of
that
my
I
favorite
was-
games.
which is great.
We're
but,
gonna
like,
play Demon Souls in a little bit.
Yes, correct. We are. We're absolutely going to. But I was just hoping for a little bit different
Yeah.
of like gameplay. It is like 100% the same action of there. Which I mean, they did change it up
Yeah.
in Sekiro, which I still have not beat, and one day maybe I will.
Good game.
It is.
I think they have stealth mechanics in this one. I think there'll be different power ups and different things, different weapons, different ways
Give me
you
a
get
skill
weapons.
tree.
I
Give me
think
a
there's,
skill tree,
I think
baby.
there's gonna be a lot.
Love a good.
They might
tree.
have a skill tree.
I hope so.
I'm so excited. This is the game I've been excited almost as much. Resident Evil Village, I was probably more excited for, to be honest. But this game, still very excited.
That's good. When do you think the next podcast will be? Are we going to try to do this every other week?
Every other week?
Once
Sounds good. Every month?
Every 3 months?
Because
Once every year?
every week is way too much.
I agree. And then what happens then is we can't talk to each other outside of the podcast.
That's true.
Then we just would talk about everything that we want to talk about on the podcast.
We could do every 2 weeks.
Something like that. That seems like a good amount.
Right?
Something
Listeners,
so
do you want it every 2 weeks? Do you want it more than that? Do you want it less? Every day? Every year?
Every year. Every other year.
Every other year.
Like a year hiatus, then come back.
I think, yeah. Because I would like to do it because it's fun. It's fun to do.
I agree.
And so we'll see.
And that'll be easier too if we do it every other
if
week.
we get into a
maybe
habit every other week. It won't be this long too, probably.
No, correct. I figured this one would go long because we haven't talked like in person in a long time.
And Matt just came over a minute ago, and then we spent an hour putting the computers together.
I was like, shush, don't talk to me.
I didn't say a word to him. I didn't even say a hi. Anyways,
I had noise canceling headphones on the whole time. Tried to. So yeah.
Anyways, that's all. That's all
we got. Yeah. So thanks for listening. If you're still sticking around, we appreciate that. Feel free to email in to the email. What was the email again?
It's either Matt and Dylan or Dylan and Matt podcast
at gmail.com.
I think it's
just put them both. Just put the top one and the one, and then CC the other one.
I feel bad. It'll be in the YouTube comment. Look down below in the details. It'll be there. Right in
there.
Give us suggestions. Give us thoughts, opinions.
Yeah, what you're looking forward to in 2022.
Yeah, what you're reading. Are you reading anything? Let us know.
Yeah,
and we'll talk. We'll read these emails on the podcast.
Absolutely. So thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.